Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. This is the post-match reaction show for the game versus Zagreb. And bless you there, Mike, in there. Spurs 2, Zagreb 0, round of 16 in the Europa League tie. And we go marching on. Evening, gentlemen. How did you think that game went? I'm all right. I was like, a bit nonplussed, shall we say. It was one of them games which was just
just get out the way, just shove it to the side, make sure you win it, and
no dramas,
just get it done. Just get it done. I was watching, I made a few notes, and I thought, let me just watch the game. Zagreb came to do a job. I think their main thing was to try and score an away goal. That was what they attempted to do. They were at times playing 5-6 at the back, but we won the game. We won the game,
and we didn't concede an away goal, which I think is the most important.
That was definitely, as I said before. What have I got here? All right, it's the right date. Let's put this across the screen. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. This is a little bit of technical difficulties here. Spurs 2, Zagreb 0. Gents, how do you think that went in terms of a result and a performance? Bearing in mind we've got the second leg next week. Is a 2-0 lead to take to Croatia the right result for us today?
Has to be, doesn't it? I think it's one of those where, as we said just literally a few seconds ago, you expect to win it, but you want to just win the game without any drama, without any injuries, without any worries. And to be honest, everything went well. We didn't concede. Players came off when they needed to. Substitutions were made, and I think it was the right substitutions. I looked at the starting 11, and I was a little bit like, Kane and Son, did they both need to start? Not sure. But then when the game went on and they were playing really well, and to just get that game done and out of the way in 45 minutes is probably the best thing to do. And then, like he said, he did make the right substitutions. Kane maybe could have come off a little bit earlier, but he made the right substitutions. Kane got 2 goals. Everybody really played pretty well, to be honest. Davis, I think, if we're talking about players who maybe who don't play as well, who played better, I think Davis was one of those players who played very well. To say that he doesn't really have the best of games, I would say, Davis, but he played well. I would give him the credit, and a few other players did play well. Lamela as well. So
even Sissoko didn't have a bad game, did he?
Yeah, I think in the first half, I was pretty annoyed with him. I thought he was quite bad in the first half. I'm not going to lie.
You reckon?
I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of watching, because I wasn't really paying attention to the full game. I was kind of watching individual performances of players that could maybe get into the starting 11. Obviously, I don't imagine Sissoko to be even thinking about starting that game against Arsenal. But when it's these sort of games, I kind of look at the players you could kind of push for that starting 11. And I was a bit annoyed at Sissoko in the first half. But again, in the second half, he was fine. So I'm not going to nitpick at those sort of performances. But overall, like you said, it's one of those where I'm just happy that everybody's fit, no one's injured, and we can move on to Sunday with a full fit squad. I think, is it only Lo Celso who's going to be out on the Sunday? Yeah, so
he might not be out though. I think Jose's he said he wasn't ready for this game. He might be on the bench for the game on the weekend. But Mike, what was your thoughts on the game itself?
I just got a job done, didn't we? Like Darius said, we've done it without any dramas, no injuries. I thought the team played well. They controlled the game from start to finish. I actually thought Uncle Sissoko, I thought he had a good game, Darius. And I find that I struggle to actually find any negatives about his game today. I think he'd done what he needed to do. He was in control. He didn't lose possession. He didn't lose possession from what I can.
It was one time. I think that was the reason why I was a bit annoyed, because I remember Jose. I could hear on the microphone that Jose was pretty annoyed because he lost it in a really vital position. But you're right in what you're saying. It wasn't that many times. And
as I say, we got the job done. Back four played well, although I don't really think they had too much to worry about. I don't think Zagreb was set up to come and try and beat us out at the lane. At the lane. I wish we were still at the lane. Tottenham Hotspur State. Yeah,
pending naming rights is what I call it.
Pending naming rights. Yeah. Luis had a quiet evening. That's what you want. Managed the game, got the result, and kept a clean sheet. Job done.
It was very clear. They had a very clear game planned in Zagreb, and it didn't go according to plan. And I think for them to try and change to score that goal, they did a few bits and pieces. But as I said, unless there was a real major error in the back four or even in the midfield, they weren't really going to test us that much. Just looking at the lineup, this is the predicted lineup that I had from before. So again, Aurier, Sanchez, Dyer, and Davis. So those four started. The only surprise was, well, not surprise. There was more than one surprise. You know, Hart didn't start. Son, Kane. So I'll put the lineup from today's game anyway. So this is the lineup for the game today. You know, so we had Lloris in goal. As I said, the back four, as mentioned before. And Ndombele and Sissoko. Did that surprise you guys in terms of a starting midfield too?
Didn't personally for me. I thought Ndombele was going to start because he didn't play against who did he play? Was it Crystal Palace?
Yeah, Palace.
So I wasn't surprised by that. The only two that really shocked me was Son and Kane. But then as the game went on, I kind of understood that you'd probably want to start your best players and then be able to bring them off like he did. So again, if we think about it and think maybe Zagreb might have posed more of a challenge if we maybe started Bergwijn and Vinicius. It was probably the best lineup he could have done to rest players for Sunday and also play a strong.
It was a calculated risk. It was a calculated risk. I think playing Kane and Son from the start is always a calculated risk, and that's not because obviously their quality. It's just that these type of games where you're thinking, you know, there's this managing players. Son's played a lot of games recently. I thought that he could have done with a rest. Maybe could have started Kane. Yeah, I agree with that. But possibly Bergwijn could have started to get him in the game. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. I think, you know, having got the result now, we can probably say, right, it was the right starting lineup. Kane obviously getting a brace. It does kind of lead you to believe that Jose wasn't taking any chances, maybe saw a little bit of Croatia, Zagreb, and knew they did pose a little bit of a threat if he was to take liberties, which he didn't take any liberties with them. So again, it was a job well done. We've got quite a few comments coming through, so let's have a little see what we've got coming through from our guests. So welcome, good evening, Zacchaeus Forbes. Way to go, Spurs. You must be pleased with that result. Yes, I think we are. I think we're pleased. We're not overwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed, certainly. I think, you know, looking forward to the game at the weekend is more my thing now.
Could always be worse.
We could have drawn.
We could have drawn.
We're gonna start again.
You know what? I'm so slow. I literally just realized that we're backhanded. We're backhanding Man United at the moment. I didn't even realize that we were doing that.
Zach is again another comment from Zach. Didn't see the game, but tuning into you guys with Arsenal winning. This is a perfect prep for the derby.
Facts.
Big up.
Facts. I'm actually happy. You know what? I'm actually happy that Arsenal won because I want them to be riled up just so we can just chop them back down again. I'm telling you, I can't wait. Now this game's out of the way, we can just focus on this game. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Well, let us do this review on this, and then let's have a little bit of a few minutes at the end about the old Arsenal game. But a couple more comments. So we've got a Facebook user here. Oh, it's actually FTB Sports. Our admin is doing a very good job. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Lily White Lane. Huge win, lads. Davis really shined, in my opinion. Brilliant defensively, and Kane with a brace wraps up a fantastic night for Spurs. I would say that what Davis did with that defensive block over the top of the bar, that was probably the only point in the game where he was under a little bit of pressure, you know, throwing a few crosses in. I think did Lloris actually make any saves?
There was one that he kind of mini fumbled. I remember it was a shot from outside the box. It wasn't anything that was threatening him. He didn't really have anything to do now.
Okay. Hit that like, subscribe button. Little reminder here from FTB Sports Football. Make sure you do. We want to get as many viewers and as many subscribers as possible. So please, could you hit that notification bell as well? Get all of the information about all our videos coming up. Zach again, Harry Kane, damn, he's good. In hindsight, could have played a weaker team. Yeah, we were saying that in hindsight, but I think, as you said, you guys have already touched on it. It was a case of getting a job done today, and 2-0 clean sheet was the most important thing. Solo United 7 or Solo 7, Solo 7. He's now called himself. We like that too. Name change. Good win today, guys. Thank you very much, Solo. Let's have a look at the match stats today. See what you guys think of the match stats on the game. So as we can see, good possession stats, 68-32. Is there anything in there that surprises you? Because there's a couple of things in there for me that's a little bit of a surprise.
I don't remember 12 fouls. I don't remember 12 shots. The fouls for Zagreb doesn't surprise me, to be honest. They were they weren't dirty, but like they weren't trying to play for the ball. They were trying to. And I know Ndombele is one of those players where he's always being fouled, but I'm pretty sure Ndombele got fouled 5-6 times today.
Easily.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. That penalty decision again, seen him not been given, seen him been given, but
I thought it was a penalty. I thought it was a penalty.
Myself. I'll be honest.
I would agree.
But again, it's one of those where I've seen them give it when they played it in normal speed, it didn't look like a penalty, I will admit. But when they played it in slow motion, it looked very, very obvious because obviously he didn't get any of the ball. He literally kicked Ndombele's foot. Yeah. But I can understand why. It's one of those. It's not really anything to complain about because we won 2-0. But I'd say the shots. I really can't remember 12 shots. I don't know if that's what I was really paying attention to the game, but I can't remember 12 shots.
I don't remember 12 shots, and that's the thing that was a bit surprising. We had that many shots. I know we had a lot of possession. It was lots of neat and tidy football. I think into the final third. What I if I'm going to criticize the team at all tonight, it was just that ability in the final third. Obviously, with Kane, you've always got a world-class striker to score goals, and that's what he did today. He picked up the pieces on the second goal and put it away. First goal, Harry Kane, typical Harry Kane sort of goal. But the possession, good possession for us. Zagreb came with a game plan, and as I said, they had 5 to 6 men in a line. I just want to see Spurs do a little bit more in that final third, in terms of that final pass and just taking care of the ball more. There was just a little bit of, and again, I am being a little bit picky about performances because I want to see us dominate games start to finish. And teams like this, if you put them away early, it could have been making changes earlier, but so be it. We got the goal in the 70th minute, 2-0, and it's job done. So
I've got a question. Just on Harry Kane. Do you think, and I saw a few articles just about Harry Kane's seasons and stats and performances. Do you think this is Harry Kane's best season he's had at Spurs? Or do you think that the 40-goal season that he had or the 30 goals in the league, do you think he's had better seasons? But personally, I think that in terms of performances overall, this is probably his best performance season because he's just been today. He was just absolutely amazing. He was pinging balls everywhere.
I think he's given more to the team, isn't it? Like, if you're just talking about his goals ratio, then to be fair, he's probably on a par with previous seasons where he's banged in like 30 odd goals, wherever it might be.
Even if I look at the stats, he's played 37, scored 26, and assisted 16.
It is ridiculous that
his numbers are unbelievable.
The thing he's changed this season is the fact that he's providing. He's not just scoring goals; he's turning provider as well, which he's never done that in previous seasons. Not to the level that he is this season. And I actually think Mourinho's turned him into a better player since he's taken over because he's made Kane a well-rounded centre forward, and it's almost like he can play in the number 10 role. I think Mourinho's made him a better player myself.
Today, sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on. You hadn't finished.
I was
just going to say about Harry Kane today. There was a couple of times where I think he not to say he dropped into the 10 too much, because what was happening, Dele Alli, and I wrote it down earlier. Dele Alli kept drifting. I know he was trying to find space to pick the ball up, but he didn't really occupy that 10 as much as I would have liked him to. So when Harry Kane came back, what I was expecting Dele Alli to do was to then go into that space in behind, as Dele Alli used to do for us, coming from the 10, running in behind and scoring goals. He didn't do that. He was trying to pick the ball up. Maybe that was the detail he was told. So you could be a free roll and go anywhere you like. But second half, there was a change. Dele Alli was definitely playing a lot higher. What did you actually think of his performance overall from Dele?
I don't really think. Yeah, it was just one of those where it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. He just did what he needed to do. Really,
I think like a lot. It's the same with all the I suppose the midfield up to Harry Kane. I think they all had a solid performance, but I think they struggled maybe a little bit in terms of potentially stretching and running in behind the Zagreb defence, and that's because I think Zagreb were quite solid at the back. Although that centre half was a little bit, he was a little bit touch and go, wasn't he? But I think Zagreb, they defended quite well, to be honest. They were quite a solid side defensively. They didn't have anything going forward, but they were hard to break down.
I think for next week's game, it's going to be they have to come out and obviously attack, and that's going to be to our advantage. So I think it will be, we'll get an away goal. And once we get one goal next week, well, as I said, I think the tie's done anyway.
Manage it out.
It's a management. Yeah, as you said, it's a managing the game. Couple more comments coming in. Zach's. Yo, Darius, does the K in 3K stand for Kenny? South Park.
I'm guessing is this the hood. I didn't have time to tie my hair up, Zacchaeus, so I apologize. So next time I'll get the orange hood and everything to make sure it's properly like him.
Zach is on it. Good question here from Zach, though. Do you miss Ericsson? Do we miss Ericsson?
Nah.
I think no, because of the performances that Kane's putting in as a creative midfielder almost. But I think any team would miss Ericsson as just an addition to the team. I think if he was to have a prime Ericsson or a 24-year-old Ericsson as opposed to a 24-year-old Dele Alli, I'd probably prefer a 24-year-old Ericsson. But if we're looking at realistic, like, let's be realistic with it. He'd been at the club for 6 years. He wanted to move away. He wasn't really performing at his top level. And he's gone to Inter, and he's been better recently. I will definitely admit that. I've watched Inter and he's been better recently, but it's only because Conte's kind of needed him to be in this squad, and he's kind of said, right, you're not going anywhere, you're not being sold, so we're going to have to make do. So I don't think missing Ericsson is the right thing. I just think that if he was continuing to play how he did before, and then he left when he was in his prime, and he was, when Man U were linked with him for 100-odd mil and Real Madrid were linked with him, I think if he left them, we'd probably definitely miss him. But I think the way that he left, it's just, I can't really miss Ericsson after the last 12 months that I saw him play. It's kind of hard to say that.
And would we get the same work rate that Mourinho requires in our side? I don't think we'd get that level of work rate from him.
I think
not at his age now.
Yeah. That's the right thing to say. Yeah, you're right in what you're saying, because I think his work rate for Poch was unbelievable. His numbers in terms of distance covered on the pitch was probably the most out of, I think, over the 5 years that he was there. I think it was the most out of all the players. But you're right in what you're saying. At 28, I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to be doing that.
I'm slightly different. I think there are times when we miss a player like Ericsson because our style of play has changed, and we were relying early part of the season when we didn't have Ndombele playing in and alongside Højbjerg. We kind of struggled for that real creative spark to pick when I say creative spark, it was that person to pick the ball up in that 10 position, not doing what Harry Kane did and dropping deep and spraying balls, but someone to just unlock that pass with that ball that the likes of Fabregas would see. That sort of real, oh my God, where did he find that pass? And that's what Ndombele could do. But I always thought that Ndombele was probably better coming from deep because he's got more space to run into. Ericsson was not a massive runner with the ball, but he could always, his vision was impeccable, and he found passes. Poch played him kind of from the left, from the right quite a bit, and he used to come and cut in. He never really occupied that real 10. I would have loved to have seen him. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him in this team where we've got the likes of Ndombele, Højbjerg to protect and also be creative, and see what Ericsson could have done in that particular against teams like what tonight's opponents were. Very defensive, very organized, and we just needed that real quality in the final third, which eventually we got it, but it wasn't consistent enough for me. The final third, I wrote down earlier, the ball in the final third was untidy. It just needed a bit more quality. So it does depend on how you want to view the game in terms of what Ericsson would have brought. But
I was just gonna say, like, I don't want to keep referring to Man U, but when I was watching the Man U game today, they had McTominay and Fred, didn't they, as their double pivot? And
McFred,
it works. Don't get me wrong. I can see why it worked. No, it wasn't even McTominay and Fred. Sorry, take that back. It was McTominay and Matic, and that was the issue I had. I think with football going forward now, you kind of have to have, if you've got a double pivot, one of those double pivots has to kind of be a creative, deep lying playmaker almost, because you can have Ericsson in that 10, but you need somebody to progress the ball to Ericsson if he's not going to work as hard. And I think that's why Man U have kind of missed Pogba, because Pogba's kind of, he's a player, he's Aaron Ndombele almost, where he can do the stuff going forward and he can pick out a great pass, but he also has got an engine and he can work hard going back if he wants to. So I think that you're 100% right in what you're saying. I think that Ericsson, had he had Ndombele and Højbjerg behind him, would have probably continued to be at the level he was at, like he was in 2015.
I think
that would have been a no-brainer.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have had to work as hard in terms of, drifting out wide, because he used to drift out wide quite a lot to come inside. And it was always a bit lopsided. We really were lopsided with Ericsson because he did occupy one of them front places. And for that reason, I would have loved the balance that we now have with like Bale on that right-hand side, Son on the left-hand side, Harry Kane strictly down the middle, but can drop in the 10. Eriksen just behind that. You know, you can imagine the sort of passes and sort of people he would be finding with that range of passing.
I also think that it's the free kicks, the set piece quality as well is another thing that we missed, because we don't really have a designated free kick taker for corners and stuff. He used to put balls on the spot, and we used to score goals from that because he would just put it on a plate.
But then he couldn't take a corner, could he? Because he'd never be able to beat the first man.
Because he had a technique where it was for free kicks, wasn't it? It was
pretty much.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, 100%.
Well, Zach thinks he's made some good points on there. Mr. B's joined us. Mr. B, McFred, you like
Why
McFred
am I getting
as a
today,
combination?
What's going on?
And he's just saying, "Oi, Darius, you're mocking Man United CM. Behave yourself, will ya?" That McFred, I think they need fries with that.
What, medium
fries
with
or
a milkshake as well?
Medium fries with that McFred. Because that's a burger. I can't.
It's not even a good burger either. It's
not even a nice one.
They're not that bad.
They're not even a nice burger. No, they're terrible, man. No. They're terrible.
I'm not gonna hate on McFred like that.
They're terrible.
They're like a flat cheeseburger.
Tell him, Mike. Tell him.
No gherkins.
There's no substance. There's no gherkins. There's no relish.
Pickles.
It's
no
flat.
Pickles. Nothing.
Pickles.
What is going on?
No pickles, nothing. I don't like them.
Oh my God, Mr. B is funny.
So, what's Mr. B saying now? I would bust a man's head to have even won a Spurs CM.
He's not lying, though. We've got one of the best double pivots in the league, and I'll say that with my chest. That's something that we definitely can say.
I don't know if I want to repeat this one, but everybody can see what's on the screen. And Zach is definitely agreeing with that. But it's true. I think a lot of teams would really appreciate having the likes of Højbjerg and Ndombele in their starting level, because for me, it's a real balance. And all we need now to really push this midfield trio on is to have a real number 10. Moura does a job. Lamela
dying breed, though. It is a dying breed, though. That's one thing.
But I think we've got that player, potential player in Lo Celso, if he could be adapted into that role.
Definitely.
So again, that's my thoughts. Anyway.
And did you see that? What's his name? Sabitzer, is it? Is that how you pronounce his name? I thought he was poor the other day. Last night. He wasn't great.
I think that Leipzig on the whole weren't great in that. They surprised me again. We could talk about that in a different film. Leipzig surprised the hell out of me. I thought they were going to really give that Liverpool team a lot more to play for. But again, it's tactics. As they wanted to play a high line against Liverpool, and I know they had to. But when you've got Salah and Mane, you can't really be doing that. So it's one of those. It's difficult, but at least you ain't got McFred. I'm just going to go back to that one again. No, sorry. I can't. I'm not. We're not playing Man U for a while, but that's another game I can't wait for.
Mr. B, I'm calling Mr. B out because I watched their preview show. Mr. B was all about who's AC Milan. We're dealing with them. Don't even worry about them. Well, you're gonna worry about it next week now, ain't you? Because you're going to the San Siro with a 1-1, and all they need to do is keep a clean sheet, and they're through. However, I still think Man U will probably go through.
I want to play Man U.
But if Milan don't come out and play, it's going to be very difficult for Manchester United.
I want them to go out so I can see Mr. B and Amanda have an absolute meltdown.
live on FTB Sports.
I want McFred playing so I can see this, because it'd be absolute prime TV.
It is another one for us. And Zach decided to put this one in capitals, so he must really want us to answer this one. Upon arrival, Jose said Spurs squad is better than United. Do you still agree?
100%.
Wow.
You know what?
Straight off the bat,
without a
Mike
doubt.
Hotspur Hustler is not even pausing for breath, without a doubt.
When you look at the Spurs squad in its entirety, we have more strength and depth than Man United. I don't.
You know what? I think I agree. Yeah, the depth I think is actually, because I was looking at that bench and they're putting. I know they've got youngsters, but and a couple injuries, but they were playing like Amad Diallo and Shola Shortai, who's like 16 years old, and they were on the bench and they were the only attacking options on the bench. And I was thinking, I remember this Man U squad being better than that, or is it just that their 11 is a very, very, very good 11? Don't get me wrong. I think their 11s can compete with a lot of 11s, but I was looking at that bench and I was thinking, that bench isn't that good, and Spurs' bench definitely has more quality.
If you look at our bench today, looked at the bench today with the
100%.
players that didn't play, and you compare that to what Man United have, there's nothing. Our bench was far superior. Now I compare McFred to Winks and Sissoko. That's what they are, and that's their.
That's a bit harsh. That's a bit.
No,
harsh.
I'm
That's
not.
a bit harsh.
It's not harsh.
I agree with that as well.
That's a bit harsh.
Have you watched Fred play?
Fred is better
His
than
name
Winks.
is Fred. If he's Brazilian and they call him Fred, they didn't give him a nice name because he's not good enough. So they just called him Fred.
Oh,
what
I'm
Brazilian
sorry.
do you
That's
know that's
disrespectful.
called Fred? You tell me. Therefore,
No,
he wasn't good enough.
Fred, he was a striker. He was
Fred,
shit though. He was bad.
He's probably called Fred Sino, but they just said, you're not good enough to have that name. Just call you Fred. That's what it was. So Mr. B, gas, bro. I got to learn to shut my mouth. It's true.
It's true. He's a Winks, isn't he?
That's a bit disrespectful.
No, not having it. He's a Winks.
Winks has probably got better distribution than Fred.
I agree. I think Winks is a better part.
I'm not saying, look, Mr. B, Zacchaeus, look, I'm not saying nothing. That's on them two there. I don't personally think that Fred is worse than Winks. I've seen Winks play, and Winks is not as bad as Fred. I'll tell you that. I mean, sorry, Fred is not as bad as Winks. I'll tell you that for sure. I'll tell you that for free, mate.
I'm not having that. That big Fred, they're a flat cheeseburger. I'm telling you.
Fred. That's the best one.
Oh, lads, we can't. This is how much the show we don't have much to talk about the Spurs. We are having to just banter these mans on the screen,
lovely banter,
which is fine, but it's all good. It's all good. I can't wait to play Man United again.
There is no comeback.
No, I want to play him against.
You can't come back to that. McFred is just ends it. It's like when you drop the mic and you walk off stage. That's what happens with McFred. It's just.
And this is again, Zacky's saying Fred is thrash. Man. He should be saying Fred is trash. But I agree with you. He's thrash as well. Give me Winks any day.
But then go down one more. This is what I'm saying. This is our fan. I'm pretty sure Hello Turf is a fellow Spurs fan, and now he's saying Fred's better. I have to hate to say it. It's like the opposite fans.
Hello Turf. What are you watching?
Mate. I'm telling you.
No way.
We watch Winks. These don't watch Winks. That's the difference. These don't watch Winks. I know that.
Fred runs around in circles like a headless chicken. He doesn't know. It's like what's that comment that person put up a few weeks ago or about a month ago, where he said it's like playing the Xbox and you're just pressing X all the time.
Yeah, for real.
That is Fred.
That is definitely
100%.
But he does something for their team. So again, let's leave them. We can troll them another day. They've got plenty of trolling to go. But they won't leave us alone. They won't. Mr. B's got lots and lots of dots here in Fred. I don't know what to put for that dots, but we could put
I want Winks to start just so these Man U fans can watch a Winks game. I promise you'll change your mind instantly.
Hello Turf says, as a squad player, I'd take Fred. I'd take him as a squad player, but I wouldn't.
Oh wait, are we discussing him getting into our starting 11? Is this what this whole discussion was about? Because I'll change my whole tone. I'll change my whole tone if that's what we were talking about.
I'm not sure about
the way he touches our starting 11. He doesn't even flipping lace the boots of our midfielders.
These Man United fans have thrown us.
No.
I know, we're not even talking about this.
Even with sweet and sour sauce, even with ketchup, Fred ain't getting into our team. He's rubbish.
And I'm not having sauce.
No, not even barbecue sauce. No sauce.
He ain't smoky enough.
Nothing.
He's not smoky.
How has this even become a part of this?
Because this lot decided to come on and talk about their players on our show, and they're trying to say, "Nah, I'm not having that. Not that combination. Not when they're pinning their whole hopes on McTominay and Fred. Come on, just listen to the names. Come on. Anyway, gentlemen." Lord. I think we've had enough here because we haven't really got much more to talk about. Obviously, we've got to look forward to this game on Sunday. That's the big one. We'll have some special shows coming up, and we've got some guests coming on the preview show. Mike, would you want to announce our guest? You can do that. Tell them, tell the people who's coming on.
We have One Touch TV, and we have Abby Summers coming on.
You see that, McFred people out there? Proper guests. That's who we've got. Proper guests.
One Touch TV. He's good. I think we'll have a good show for the preview of the North London derby.
That's going to be a great one. Like I said, I didn't want to be disrespectful to Zagreb, and I didn't want to really brush over this game because it is probably a more important game in our season. But at the end of the day, guys, like,
Darius,
if we lose to Arsenal,
let's be honest, Zagreb were shite.
They were. And if we lose to Arsenal, I'm going to literally be in the mud for the rest of the season, even if we were to get into the final. Because you know what they'll be like. They'll be like, oh, well,
we know what we know
to
what
be
they're
this team, that team. We were 15th. We beat you. I'm like,
guarantee,
nah, mate, don't want to hear it.
Guarantee if we do beat them, we will not see. There won't be one of them come on.
No one.
Apart from one touch, he'll come on, but the rest of them.
I'm going to put it out there again. I must have done this about 3 times on our shows. I've been told by the Arsenal group, our FTB Arsenal group, that they are going to come on the reaction show. Now, if they win...
What, win or lose?
Wow, this is what I'm saying. They said they'll come on the show. However, if they lose, I don't think they're coming on here. But we are going to be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, watching, we will be having...
Win or lose, we'll be here.
Lots and lots of fun come the weekend. So watch out for our shows on Saturday. And obviously the reaction show comes Sunday. And breathe.
This is a good one. I enjoyed this one. This is a good one. Thank you to Zacchaeus and Mr. B for making this one very entertaining.
They won't leave us alone. They've got more comments for you. They've got more comments. Oh, no, they've gone. They've decided they've had enough of this.
That's fine.
Hello, Turf. Son to bag a brace on Sunday. That I would definitely take. I'll take a brace. But I think Gareth Bale and Kane are going to be the players that are really going to shine. You know, because Harry Kane knows what it's like. He knows what it means to beat Arsenal. And Gareth Bale, I think, just wants to show everybody, I can do it against the best. And it will be a tough game. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be anywhere near what today's performance is going to like to beat them. We're going to need to play a lot better than we did tonight to beat them. But I believe with the players that we've got, the form that I've seen from the most important players, that being Ndombele, Bale, Son, Kane, even Mora, depends on who's going to now start. I think we've got them. I really do.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Another Facebook user. Look forward to seeing you Sunday. Well, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Come back and watch us. Win or lose, I'll be there, Yids. Oh, so there's Arsenal.
I've got an Arsenal fan undercover here.
I reckon
undercover Facebook
it's got to be Cole. It's got to be Cole. I reckon he's grown
undercover, you know. Trying to scope out, you know. Okay.
That's how they that's how they move in the shadows. They don't want to appear. They move in the shadows like that. Just come on the show, man. Just come on the show. Don't move in the shadows like that. We want to see faces. We're here. You'll see my face. I don't put no A-lists on there. It's strictly Sam Spurs for life. Don't come on there with no Facebook user and try and tell us win, lose, or draw. We'll be there, because we can work out of the 2 fans you've got who it must be. So it's easy. Anyway. Yes, they're laughing at us.
It's Cole. 100%.
He loves it.
Lads, it's been a good one. I've enjoyed this. Oh, it's already building up. This is what I'm saying. This is what football's about. When you get games coming up now, when you both had good results, obviously Arsenal had a good result tonight. We've had a good result. Forms both for the teams are good. Yeah,
I hope the Arsenal fans on FTB invite us to their show. Hopefully they'll do it after our preview if they don't come on ours, and we can troll.
Look, undercover Facebook user, we are coming. And then not Carl.
Are you bringing David Luiz? Xhaka, is that you gonna bring with you as well? I'm not scared. I'm not scared, man. I ain't scared.
Listen,
no
here
chance.
We go. NLD is ours.
I'm telling you, we need to get off before it goes to an hour. I'm telling you.
How can he say it's theirs when they're sat in 11th spot in the Premier League? They got nothing.
It's going to be a good one. So we're going to have to leave it there because I guess we could do this. But this is what we could save to the weekend. And I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Yeah. Like, subscribe, share, comment, please, if you can. Please leave some comments after the live shows as well. That'd be really good. Give us some feedback as to what you like on the shows, what you think we could do better. We're always here to try and improve and make things better. But once we get to 500 subscribers, as per usual, I'm going to say this again, we're doing a free draw for a football shirt of your choice. Name and number on the back. Come on, you Spurs. That's all I can say now. Come on, you Spurs.
Please.
Gentlemen, do you want to say any last words to our undercover fans out there? Mike,
you know what? I'm saving it.
I'm saving it. I'm going to do the same as Darius. It's not worthy. Not at the moment.
Not on the Zagreb post reaction. Let's save it for the.
This is how cool I'm going to be.
Clickbait it. Make sure that every single Arsenal fan is triggered enough so that they watch that video and they see I'm going to dissect their team. I'm getting facts for that video. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So
truth.
Let's go all out. I'm telling you.
Oh God, that's to the last comment. NLD is red. Oh God. Arsenal brothers. What are they doing? So the two fans that they've decided to both create Facebook user accounts and troll us. The two fans they've got. Oh, come on, man. Let's do better than that. Let's do better than that. Well, let's
their
go out.
banter is dead. They're a rudderless club.
Let's leave this and get out of here. Let's keep all the things for weekend, lads. There's much more of this to come.
This is what it's about, though, isn't it? This is what it's about. I really
want them to come on. We should even do a special, but I don't know if they can do that. But anyway, the reaction show, please, the same energy you lot are showing today, please show that on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And we are out.